Hey guys, it is Winky here and welcome to a brand new video. I don't know why I say that at the beginning of every single video because obviously it's going to be a new one. Anyway, today's video technically is a few weeks out of date, but I wanted some time to digest what I'm going to talk about today before I actually talk about it. And that is going to be Crisis on Earth X, the big CW DC crossover between Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl. Now, first and foremost, why did I wait to do this review? Well, I wanted to see the mid-season finales for all of these shows because there's a couple of things that happened, which I'll get into in a bit, that happened in the crossover, and I just wanted to know if the shows were going to address them after they happened. Some of them they did, some of them they didn't. So going into this, was I excited? Fairly, you know, I mean the whole CW shows at the minute, they are going through a period where I'm not loving them like I used to. I'll get into it more with my reviews of them after the seasons are finished next year, if I'm still going then. But this year, there's just quite a few things that they're just not doing right, so I wasn't really properly hyped for this. However, I've got to say, overall, Crisis on Earth X is bloody good. So I'm going to talk about some good points, some bad points, some standout moments, some for the good, some for the bad. Starting off with the opening to this episode. Now, I thought it was pretty fucking cool. We see this Nazi dystopia basically, and we see the evil version of Oliver Queen fight against the Earth X version of Guardian, and I've got to say the choreography for this was sublime. It was a much more brutal Oliver Queen that you're used to seeing. It almost kind of reminded me of in season 3 when he was training with Ra's al Ghul, and just the point blank arrow into the heart at the end, like, yeah, that was pretty fucking sweet. Oh yeah, spoilers, shit. Yeah, full spoilers for this, and this is including all the mid-season finales as well. Then we cut to everyone setting up for the Barry and Iris wedding. Now, the way that they did this, I didn't really like. Barry and Oliver, they're out fighting in the field, and Kara's out in the field as well, and they're all talking about this fucking wedding. Now, don't get me wrong, the reason for those guys coming together, logically it does make sense that it would be for a friend's wedding, such as Barry and Iris. But why have that scene when they're saying, oh, are we going to send off our invites yet? Whilst they're in the middle of fighting crime, I don't think that was as funny as they probably thought it was. And then we get to the wedding itself, and I found myself quite confused. The reason being is the guests that were actually there as opposed to the ones that weren't. Now, I'm mainly referring to Legends here because Mick Rory, he walks in, and one of the first things he said, it was a funny line, where he said, oh, are you for the bride or for the groom? Well, I tried to kill the groom a couple of times. I'm with the bride. Awful impression, I know, don't bother mentioning it. And I thought, yeah, that's actually quite funny. Oh, he's actually there, but Ray, Jax, and Martin Stein aren't there. Okay. That didn't really make sense to me. Surely those other characters that I mentioned just then should have been there ahead of some of the other legends. Sarah I can kind of see, Mick Rory again kind of see, but not really. Whereas the other three have had clear and long interactions with Barry over the course of The Flash. So why they weren't there, I don't know. But then we see some girl come up to Barry and she's dead nervous, and yeah, I know what the speculation is, but yeah, she's probably the daughter from the future. Anyway, and then surprise, surprise, the big evil Nazis, they come and invade the wedding. And everyone seems surprised. Well, I mean, Nazis crash your wedding, then yeah, you would be surprised. But I mean, everyone seems surprised that these people have similar powers. Surely it's obvious that they look like one another. I mean, the Earth X version of Supergirl looks like Supergirl. Mask or not, that's Supergirl. But anyway, they have a massive brawl and a punch up, and it looks fucking sweet again. And then they did something really, really cool. Something that I wasn't anticipating at all. There are two bow and arrow wielding superheroes on Earth X. Or supervillains, not heroes. They capture one of them, it's the Earth X version of Prometheus, and it's Tommy Merlin. Now, the reason why this is so cool is because back in season 5 of Arrow, the identity of Prometheus, there was a lot of speculation. One of the main fan theories was that it was Tommy Merlin, so I think it was quite funny that they almost really addressed that. But why the Nazis would have two bow and arrow wielding supervillains ruling over them, I don't know. But that's one thing actually. Why would they have Prometheus, yet they didn't have evil versions of Firestorm, or the Atom, or Black Canary? It was really weird. However, one thing I really loved throughout this was Oliver and Kara. Now, I'm not a shipper, I'm not someone who's like, oh my god, they're just so perfect for each other. Obviously, if you've watched my channel before and seen some of my other videos, you will know that one of my most popular videos, on Arrow at least, is how I hate Elicity, and I hate Elicity shippers. So I thought it was actually quite refreshing to see Oliver with somebody else. And again, it just pissed me off because it's still someone more suitable than Felicity. At this point, it's who isn't more suitable than Felicity. They work really well together, and it makes you want to see more of Oliver Queen and Supergirl on our Earth a lot more. The whole reason for them invading from Earth X as well was really something that I didn't understand for a while. They do take the time in kind of explaining why they're there, and the reason is Overgirl, the evil Supergirl, is dying and needs a new heart, so I know, let's go and get Supergirl. Great plan, I love it. But there's one issue that I have with that though. How did they know that she was going to be on Earth 1? She doesn't live on Earth 1, so why would they go there? Surely they wouldn't have known about the wedding, and if they have, why would they know about Barry and Iris's wedding? Just a nitpick though, I still think the reason was quite cool. And then the next thing of note that I want to talk about is when they get captured and get taken to Earth X. I really like seeing Earth X. We don't really get to see a lot of it, but the concentration camp in particular was really cool. In a bad way, but like in a good bad way. Like, you know it's a bad thing that's going on and it's horrendous, but it's cool. And then we see Russell Tovey, and I was like, what the fuck is Russell Tovey doing here? Like, he's Alonzo in Doctor Who, but I know him mainly from Being Human. So to see him just turn up with a dodgy American accent was quite bizarre. And he was only at the end for like a few minutes, and I was just like, why the fuck is he here then? Just for a few minutes at the end of The Flash. But no, he's actually a superhero, the Ray, and he was pretty good. His powers are really cool as well. They're not something that are standard amongst what we've seen thus far. I mean, obviously you could compare him to Firestorm, but with light instead of fire. But it was just something different as opposed to seeing a guy run with lightning behind him, or a bow and arrow shoot, or laser vision, you know, something that we haven't really seen too much of. So they escape with the help of Earth X version of Leonard Snart, known as Leo, and he's got the proper Captain Cold glasses. I can't remember seeing them before. Usually he just had the blue goggles with the hood up, but these are actual glasses that Captain Cold wore in the comics, and I like this version of Leonard Snart. I thought he was such a contrast to the Earth 1 version of Leonard Snart. It was refreshing to see a different spin on him, and I suppose it's always nice seeing him as well. Obviously then they manage to escape and they need to get off of Earth X, and then we get to one scene that was just the standout scene in the entire crossover in my opinion. As they're trying to escape, they get surrounded. Jax is pinned down, everybody else is pinned down, the only one who's free is Martin Stein. He runs across to get the switch, gets gunned down, and then he dies. And I'm not even going to beat around the bush here or lie to you guys, I genuinely cried when Martin Stein died. The way that it's handled, it's so good, it's so beautiful, it's so heartfelt. Regardless of what you think of the acting ability of the guy who plays Jax, I can't deny I felt his pain in that scene. And the way that the dialogue was written, I don't think this was intentional, but it felt like Martin Stein was saying to the audience, as well as Jax, look, it's going to be fine. Just let me go and accept it. And I did cry. I thought it was really heartfelt and upsetting. I mean, we see a lot of the time in superhero movies and TV shows there aren't really consequences. Flash season 3, they're teasing that they're going to kill off Iris, and then they don't. Arrow season 4, they kill off Laurel, but then they bring in a new Black Canary, and Laurel is back from Earth 2 anyway. Legends, they time travel. So it was quite refreshing, and I genuinely believe that this is the last time that we will see him. It was good that we got a final end to a character. It was really emotional, and because you kind of felt like this was it, at least for Victor Garber's version of Martin Stein. Then we get the big showdown at the end, like Supergirl, they obviously managed to get her away from Overgirl, and then there's a big brawl where they all fight with each other. And it was cool. It was nice seeing all these different characters and their opposite counterparts fight against each other for the most part, because not everyone has a counterpart for some reason. It was cool seeing the Wells version of Eobard Thawne take on Barry once again. I don't know why he put on that face. It does not make sense to me. I mean, I prefer him to the other guy, but the other guy made more sense than the Wells version, but sure. Oliver Queen fighting Oliver Queen, Overgirl against Supergirl, the Legends against all these different people, the Flashes, whatnot. Yeah, it was great. It was such a fun spectacle to watch. So yeah, that's just a brief glimmer of what happened and the good things that happened in my opinion. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought the choreography was really good. I thought the acting for the most part was really good. It had some heartfelt stuff in there. Logically, the majority of it made sense. We got some cool new characters, some cool spins on previously established characters, and overall it was solid. However, now I want to talk about what I did not like. Mostly Felicity and Iris. Now, I know I've said in other videos before that I just don't like Felicity anymore, and I stand by that. I definitely don't. She's still too much at the forefront. But Iris, a character that a lot of people seem to hate, particularly with the romance thing and the We Are the Flash thing, which no, I don't like either. But to be honest, I didn't really have a problem with Iris. I never found her as overbearing as Felicity. However, in this episode, I found them both incredibly on the same level of irritating. It almost seemed like the cool stuff and the Nazi stuff and the fighting and the evil and good versions of all these different characters had to just pause for a fair chunk of this story just so we could talk about relationship drama. If these shows are going to have relationships, fine. But if you were going to do a massive crossover where you are focusing on all these different characters and you're already kind of struggling to fit everybody in, what you don't do is waste about, I don't know, roughly a third of this talking talking about relationship bullshit that is going to be resolved anyway. If you're gonna do that stuff, save it for when your own series is back, not for when you're crossing over with everybody else. But there was a few standout moments, you know, for the most part I was just like, right, okay, wrap it up, get on with it. But there was other points that just stood out to me that I was just like, oh, just fuck off, Felicity. Yes, it was just Felicity. The rehearsal dinner, she has to make it about her yet again. Now, admittedly, Oliver is in the wrong here for asking her to marry him. And I don't mean just in general, I mean in that situation. At the end of the day, it's your best mate's rehearsal dinner the day before his wedding. You don't try and steal their thunder, but at least he kept it quiet. Felicity is the one who had to shout, but I don't want to marry you. And I just thought, you bitch. Not only have you humiliated Oliver in front of everybody, Oliver is never going to turn around and just tell Felicity that she's in the wrong. So that already pissed me off. But it's just the fact that she didn't realise she did anything wrong. She just thought, oh, well, I've upset Oliver. No, you've pretty much embarrassed him and then probably upset Iris and Barry as well, as you stole from their moment. But it wasn't the last time, was it, in this crossover? At the very end, Barry and Iris decide that they just want a simple little wedding. You know, the big Nazi thing kind of put them off, which it would. So they have a small ceremony. They've got Oliver and Felicity as witnesses. Diggle is already ordained. Barry runs and gets him, and then they start this little mini ceremony. But the thing is, Felicity just has to open her fucking mouth again. That moment where they're about to say I do, and Felicity just goes, oh wait, no, we should get married as well. Are you fucking serious? There are 3 ways that that situation could have gone down. 1, they wait until Barry and Iris have finished. It's still a pretty shitty thing to do, but at least it doesn't steal from their moment. 2nd, you just wait. This is not your moment, this is your friend's moment. You just don't say anything, you just watch your friends get married. Or 3, you be a total cunt and steal from your friend's wedding because you just always have to make every fucking thing about you. Again, why Oliver didn't say anything, because most people in that situation would. Why Iris didn't say anything, I do not know. I mean, Barry's Barry, he's just chill with everything. But it was such a shitty thing to do, and all you Felicity shippers out there, tell me, do you honestly think that that was okay? I'm sorry, but if you were the one getting married and one of your friends stopped the wedding just so they could get married as well, you would be pissed off. I don't care how much you ship Oliver and Felicity, that is not something that you do. And my already incredibly low opinion of Felicity has just skyrocketed through the floor. But this is why I wanted to wait until I saw the mid-season's finale, because Iris did actually say that Felicity did steal their thunder a bit, which I thought was quite funny. Why she didn't say it at the time, I don't know. But yeah, enough of that. Like, overall, the crossover was decent. I don't think it was as good as everyone has made it out to be. I definitely prefer it to the Dominators one. It has its moments, like I say. There's some really great emotional stuff, really great fight sequences, like I said before, but the relationship drama really bogged this down, and it was really unnecessary. The standout actors for me in this have got to be Victor Garber, Stephen Amell, and Melissa Benoist. I think they really stole it. Felicity can fuck off. Anyway, that's just what I think. Because this was like 4 different episodes, I didn't want to go into too much detail about everything. I know that there was a lot of stuff that happened, so I just thought I would pick out the standout moments for me. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below whether or not you enjoyed it, or you hated it, or whatever. What was your favourite moment from Crisis on Earth X? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe if you want to see more DC and CW TV show related content on my channel, and share it around and all that good stuff. But yes, until next time guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye. I have a blocked nose and it's really bugging me. Why did I just bark like a sheep?